The following program makes use of copywritten material as part of a psychological examination of music. All music copyrights remain property of their respected creators.
Hey, welcome to the Conversationalists with John and Niko. Today's show, we had a special guest, but funny as it turns out, she wasn't our original guest. We had one guest that we had thought we were going to schedule.
Right.
He backed out. We had another guest who we tried to schedule. He backed out.
We can't really blame him because it was like last minute.
Absolutely. So at the very last literal second, we had a special guest with Kristi Valentine.
Doesn't make her any less special of a guest.
Because she is so special. No, Kristi was great, and I'm really glad that she got to chime in. We did talk about a lot of shit. We haven't done that since the first episode.
Right.
I'd be okay with calling this Life, Death, and Music Part 2, but we don't talk about nearly as much anal fisting as we did this episode as we did that episode.
Last episode was filled to the brim.
Exactly.
With anal.
So I just want to apologize real quick. If we could just take a moment to bring it down for our audience. I want to apologize for not talking about anal fisting in this episode because really that's my bad.
You know,
I'm not perfect.
There's still plenty of room in this intro.
I'm not perfect. I can't do everything that the fans want me to do. But I just want to say, as a man, I am sorry that I did not get to talk about anal fisting in this episode. I hope you accept my apology.
I do.
Thank you, John. Anyways, on that note, Johnny, do it.
Welcome to the Conversationalists. So,
are we good?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right. Shit, I didn't even get my drink started. I'm sorry. How rude am I?
Yeah, you should. Do you need that for Blue Moon?
Yeah, this isn't a twist top. This is a...
I thought it was only like foreign drinks that you need that for.
Nah, I can't even get it on the... There we go. We're good.
All right, you guys ready for a clinky?
Hey, clinky all around the world.
All right.
Oh, man. So, I was to understand that you guys were going to try a new video game last night, but you were old people and just fucking passed out instead.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, but I got to try it out today.
How was it?
Oh, I love it.
It was...
Call of Duty Ghosts.
Ghosts. That's one's been out for a while, I think.
Yeah.
I played it on the PS4 when it first came out, I want to say.
It's been about a year.
Probably, yeah. It was one of the first games I think I got just because I wanted a game like that I could play with like a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And the online is really fun. The story mode is kind of boring as shit.
It is, but that's what I started off as, only because of the fact that I wanted to get used to the controls before I actually jump in and look like a noob.
Be honest with us. Are you a noob when it comes to Call of Duty games?
No.
Oh, so you're like a pro?
No. I'm not a noob, but I'm not a pro. All right.
So what's the gamer term for someone in the middle?
You know,
casual gamer? Because I swear that's what I am.
I am absolutely a noob. There's no question about that.
How often do you play like those first-person shooter games?
Once every blue moon.
Hey!
This is funny. You guys don't understand. See, Niko's drinking a blue moon.
That's a terrible pun. But anyways,
right. Okay.
I used to play them a lot when I was in college. Like sophomore year, my college roommate Alejandro Soto, a fellow husky Mexican like myself, he brought his Xbox 360 to the room, and he was like, "Man, Modern Warfare 2 just came out. We gotta get into it, Nick."
Right.
And we went all out on that game, and I guess some of the other rooms had it as well, but for some reason everyone was like flocking towards our room because you
guys are awesome.
We're pretty much the shit. So that was a lot of fun. definitely got me introduced to playing online because I never played online before because I never had access to it. You know, like we didn't have that fast of internet in my house, so we could never do it. So that introduced me to that weird world.
I really enjoy online playing. You know, he just got me Johnny just got me the headset.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, oh my God, I get to finally talk shit to people. But I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until I have shit to talk. Because they'll probably talk mad shit about me.
Well, that's why it'll be good to start playing against
mode,
one of us as well, yeah. Oh, yeah, story mode.
You'd be too easy. I'm sorry.
Fuck you. No, I would like to learn how to play. I mean, I've played Halo, and that's really...
But that's a completely different world than, like, the Call of Duty. Like, it's notably a different world that, like, it's like two subgroups of people. Like, you're either a Halo person or you're a Call of Duty person. Like, it's almost like the nerds and the jocks, kind of.
Which ones are which?
Definitely, I think the nerds are the Halo group. Simply because I think it's more science fiction-y.
Right.
But I say this because anybody can play Call of Duty, and whenever you can like you do really well, and you kind of go into like that pro game mode, and you can like just be like get the testosterone like going through you, and you just start talking mad shit to them.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of testosterone.
Totally.
She does.
But like I think that's something that the more alpha, I say the bunny ears alpha male thing kind of attracts to, where they can dominate people in like a war environment game.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where Halo, I think, is more, like I said, science fiction or more like, you know, laser beams, pew pew kind of stuff.
Right.
You know.
Poo poo.
But But they're two completely different worlds. So I think if you were to do one and then try and jump into the other, it probably would be a big leap.
Yeah.
Do you?
I agree. I certainly agree. But with Halo, there's only so much that you can do with Halo. You know, you got the tag pretty much where you do the capture the flag.
Yeah.
You know, you don't really have that. Well, I guess you kind of do.
They have the different types of games in Call of Duty. I mean, obviously they have death matches.
Ooh, isn't Call of Duty the one with like the zombies?
Yeah. But
So that's Call of Duty.
fun.
I was curious about that.
That's the only like specific ones because I that started with World at War, the very first zombie game, and then it came back in I want to say Black Ops.
Yeah, Nazi zombies.
Is it in Ghost?
Yeah, Ghost actually has one, but it's more for it's like aliens, like you're battling against aliens.
It's something weird, but they don't bring it back all the time. They bring it back for they didn't have it in like Advanced Warfares or the trilogy Call of Duty 1, 2, or 3, obviously.
Right.
But
So how many Call of Duties are there?
Yeah. Okay. So there's 1, 2, 3, and I want to say there was a fourth one. I think there may have been a fourth one.
No, I think that's when Black Ops came out.
No, because Advanced Warfare came out before Black Ops.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, there's 1, 2, and 3, and those took place during like World War 1 and 2. Very much a lot. You're on the British side, and you're facing the Nazis or the Russians, and then Modern Warfare came out, which was where you're in USA, and you're taking on.
But there was a Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah. It's part. It's all
So
a trilogy.
Modern Warfare is not the same thing as, or it is the same thing as Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's sort of like a different story.
Almost like the American Horror Story. You know,
Right.
they're the same thing, but they're different stories, but they have the same characters in some of them.
Yeah.
So the same kind of hub.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right.
But the Modern Warfare that was supposed to be it was supposed to, I think, symbolize a lot of what was going on with America at the time, with the Afghanistan and Iraq and like the Middle Eastern side of the war. Like there's missions where you're in like the ghettos of Iraq or whatever, and you're running through the streets or whatever.
Right. So do these games actually help you understand history at all, or not really?
I don't think so. I think it's all just for
Entertainment,
really.
Right. Okay.
I know they have done like they've done like downloadable content where I think you can. One of the zombie modes you could play as like the former presidents. Like you play as like John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon.
I never had the money to get all that.
Oh yeah.
So I had no
That's
idea.
pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's terrible voice actors doing JFK and
yeah, that would probably get on my nerves.
Yeah, but it was a very fun because you're in the Pentagon,
right?
And I mean, you start in like some office, then you have to unlock the elevator, and then you got to go down into like the secret science layers or whatever, and you gotta find all the pieces to turn on a switch for some powerful weapon and
right.
some shit like that. It's and instead of them becoming they're more objective. You have to do more stuff in these games instead of just like, okay, you hold this corner, I'll hold this wall, and just call me if you need any help. And like you just try and rack up as many number of kills as you can. Now it's like you have to find this part, you have to do this in a certain amount of time, you have to unlock this, you gotta
upgrade your weapon, you gotta do this, and then you gotta run back over and make sure that you board up all the windows.
Yeah, there's when I was living up north, I found out that there was like straight up true strategy to like playing those games, because like whenever you're going in zombie mode, you can like shoot them in the legs so that they're just crawling, right?
Right.
And
slow them down.
Yes, they tell you like how many zombies are left. So like if you're down to the last one, you could totally like just cab him in the knee so that he's just crawling around, and you can like run around and you can go buy shit, you can upgrade, you can pretty much do everything and not have to worry about being overrun by zombies. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's like total strategy to these games, which I guess makes it more of a challenge rather than just racking up kills.
Right.
I don't know. I play just because I enjoy killing zombies.
Yeah. Well, if I'm going to play a zombie game, I'll
Left
either
4
go
Dead.
Left 4 Dead, Dead Island, and Dead Rising. Those
I didn't really care for that Dead Island, though.
I liked it. I really did. I got pretty far before I quit playing.
I don't think I've played Dead Rising.
Yeah, we had it.
But I probably just didn't play it, though.
Yeah, I don't think that's kind of a game that you would like. Whenever it comes to Dead Rising, I really enjoy figuring out what game or like what weapons you can make out of everything.
Now, what kind of zombies were they?
They were the slow, dumb ones.
Yes.
Oh,
now at night they got more aggressive.
Yeah, like if you're outside and it was nighttime, they got like their eyes would glow and they'd be all. Rah.
But you also had the psycho people. Like there was one guy that rode the motorcycle and tried to kill people just because he's a fucking psycho.
Like
literally.
pretty much just bosses.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they are kind of like bosses. But Dead Island is the one with they call the infected, and they run and scream. I swear to God, once I start hearing them, I'm jumping up on top of fucking cars, like screaming my head off, like, oh my God!
Yeah. Now, the Dead Island, that's more of like the first person kind of zombie.
Well, yeah, but you can also do multiplayer on it.
Really?
Online multiplayer, yeah.
That's cool.
It's because I used to play with a couple of people. My brother, brother-in-law, my sister, and we'd all there's like 4 or 5 people that you can play as, and we would all pick a different character. Someone that used the blunt force, somebody that used the katanas or the sharp objects, somebody that did shooting. We all had our specialty, and we went and did quests together. But if you logged out, if you were on somebody else's server, once you left, you weren't where you left off. You start back at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
So this was an online game?
You can play online.
Yeah, it's both offline and online.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But I think I got into it a little bit, but I just like the aspect. It's like a first-person zombie game, and like it starts off right off the bat. Like you wake up, and you're hungover or something like that, and you're like just wandering around your hotel, and then you see some zombie, and you're just fucking running, just like fuck this noise. And
I think I did play that one.
Dead Island, yeah, it's a good game. I like it.
Dead Island. Okay, that's what we're talking about. No, I did.
Dead Rising, you start off in like a.
You're in a shopping mall. It's a lot like Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
You're in a shopping mall, and then
okay, I think I played that.
There's some outbreak, and then like everyone's just trying to run for it as fast as they can, and you escape, but there's still survivors out there that you could save.
And there's your daughter, and you have to keep getting that vaccine, that medicine for her, because if she doesn't get it every 24 hours, she'll end up turning into a zombie.
Yeah, I played that one.
Yeah. So that I think her name's like Kate or Katie or something like that.
Something creepy. I mean, I guess that's just because of the game, but
yeah. Yeah, like the first one I thought was enjoyable. Oh, that was like one of the first games that came out on the Xbox 360. I remember.
I thought it was Left 4 Dead.
No. Dead Rising was one of the first. Because I remember whenever the 360 first came out, I was visiting my brother in college. He was going to SMU, I want to say, in 2006 or 7, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
So and that was around the time when it first came out. So there was maybe like Halo 3,
right,
and Dead Rising, and then maybe like a few other like shitty, starter games. But I remember when I would visit his college, and I would stay the weekend or whatever. They always had like a rec room that had like TVs and had pool tables or whatever, and people would bring their Xboxes down and play games. And I remember, it was like 1 or 2 in the morning. He was off with friends doing college stuff, whatever he was doing. And I was just there by myself because obviously I was just maybe 16 years old, so I couldn't tag along for any of that stuff. So I just stayed in that rec room and I just played Dead Rising till like 6 in the morning. And yeah, the fun part of it is getting creative because like you can like create weapons, or you can you can change your outfits. You can find you can put a cone on a zombie,
right?
And since you're a photographer, you can take pictures, and the better, the funnier the picture, the more points you get.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's a really weird thing to add into a zombie. It's
fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a really silly zombie. It's not to be taken serious at all.
That's that's one of the achievements, like putting one of those lizard masks on 10 different zombies.
Yeah.
So you go into a store that had like these dinosaur masks, and you'll just pick one up and you'll go over and put it on a zombie's head, run back over, pick one up, go put it on. So you have a bunch of zombies that have dinosaur heads on, purple dinosaur heads.
Okay, this is the stupidest thing, and yet you guys are really selling me on this. I really want to play it now, even though it just gets dumber and dumber what you guys are saying.
I didn't even add all of this together, but they came out with a third one that's exclusive to Xbox One, and apparently that's supposed to be like the bee's knees of like the whole
Dead Rising series.
Yeah, Dead Rising series. You really can create some really crazy weapons, and you can create like crazy vehicles with weapons or whatever. Like you can you can do like the motorcycle, and you can like attach like 2 like triple barrel shotguns, and like just be like, just like go like crazy with that motherfucker. You can create, and like there's really silly outfits. Like there's like a shark outfit.
Oh, that would be fun though.
Like a shark.
I would love to run around a bunch of zombies in a shark outfit.
It's really crazy how like you can create these really like. I remember like how you can do like the combo, like you can do like a really high number combo. Like if you were to kill like zombie after zombie, like your combo goes up. I saw this video. This guy had like, since you have like 8 slots for weapons in that game, or whatever, he pretty much just got like the same weapon with like max ammo and all 8 slots, and he would just like, it was like some like machine shotgun or something like that. It was like some real intense, like the most intense weapon there was, and he got like I want to say like a 2,000 kill combo. Like,
God damn!
How many zombies are there together like that?
Well, the cool thing about this is this game was the first game to really show the Xbox One's like new capacity of like how many characters.
Xbox One or 360?
No, Xbox One. This is an Xbox One exclusive. Like it came out just for the one. But it was the first one to show like, because you've seen games where there was like a shit ton of people on the screen, but you could only really interact with like the few people that were in front of you. The people in the back were just digitally animated or whatever.
Right.
But if you were to see 1,000 people on the screen at one time, there was 1,000 individual people there that you could just like with a katana and just like kill 1,000 people until obviously your katana broke. But that's how huge of a scale the game is.
Damn.
Wow.
So big ups to the Xbox for stepping up their game. I think PS4 is pretty much right up there.
They've come a long way.
Yeah. Whenever I played Assassin's Creed Unity, which was it was a fun one. It was same concept. Like if you were to see like, because it takes place during the French Revolution, so you'd be seeing people on the streets rioting, in front of like castles or whatever, or big parliament buildings, and like you'd be looking at hundreds of people up from a building top, and then as soon as you got down to the bottom, it was the exact same large scale of like how many people there were down there.
Wow.
So like, What was the one with like what is the history with Assassin's Creed?
Well, basically, man, they just go from like different time periods. Like they started in like medieval times.
What was the one with like George Washington or something?
That was just no, that was just Assassin's Creed 3.
Was it a 3?
Because you played like a half Native American, half Englishman.
Wow.
Named like something Conway. Connor. I
don't know.
I don't remember, but yeah, he was a really cool character.
No, the first one was the one with the Knights of Templar, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, does it kind of follow the same basis?
It doesn't really like. It's not more historical. It's just sort of like throwing it out there as like this was going on, or like these were the people in this time period. But it doesn't go into like full like lessons.
So it's like a subplot.
Kind of. It's one of the like. Actually, now I think about it, like they always have like these pop-ups. Like anytime you ever pass like they have a historical person or a building or a monument in a game, there's always like that pop-up screen where you can like read about it and learn.
But you don't. You just
no, because why would I want to?
Has nothing to do with
who
the fucking
reads?
game,
Okay,
right?
minus like the strategy games or like the role-playing games. Like who honestly reads during a damn video game? It's all about pew pew. You know what I mean?
It's always about poo poo.
It's not about reading. You got to scroll down the motherfucker, and then you got to get all the clues.
You're like, I just want to get back.
I just want to get back to the pew-pews.
I'm sorry. Every time that you say that, I'm going to laugh.
It's okay. But, no, those games actually are really fun because, I mean, aside from the whole action side of it or whatever, I think just going to, like, different time periods, because, I mean, Unity went to the French Revolution, 3 went to the American Revolution. I just played, what's the most recent Assassin's Creed game?
I thought that was...
No. There's the one that takes place in England.
There was...
Syndicate.
Oh, yeah,
Assassin's Creed Syndicate. And that takes place during, like, the late 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I
haven't even played Brotherhood yet.
I think that was more of, like, the Industrial Revolutions over there. Because, like, there's a lot of, like, trains and factories being there. Brotherhood, that was still in, like, the Renaissance period.
Yeah.
Which that one I really enjoyed. Because you could recruit people.
I heard that it was a pretty good game.
It was really cool because you could recruit people and you could like put them out on missions and they would level up. Mm-hmm. And and you could have like a rank system, like you're my wingman, and you're like the lieutenant, and then like you're like this guy. You could totally like you could
put them in command of something.
Yeah. I always thought that was fun, especially if you ever got in a jam and you needed some backup. You could depend on them because they'd be like so highly ranked.
Right. Well, Johnny, what kind of games did you like to play?
Well, I'm not really into the Assassin's Creed parkour.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I'm more into like the RPGs, like Skyrim and Elder Scrolls 3, Morrowind.
Mm-hmm.
One that I
do you get into those games because you get to be a different character, or do you just like the whole adventure side to it?
Well,
I do.
Okay. For me, it's the same reason why I like Grand Theft Auto. Freedom.
Right.
I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can go wherever I want. I mean, I can do what I want. I can just
kill who
people.
You want.
I can just kill what I want,
Right.
I can pick up hookers. Not in Skyrim.
No.
Well, yeah, I guess not.
Well, you can in Fable.
You can.
Could you in Fable?
There was,
Well, not hookers,
you could take them to your house, and you could.
It was just chicks.
You can get
brown
service.
chicken, brown cow them.
Yeah, you can brown chicken, brown cow in that game.
You can do some pews all over your titties. Ah, shit.
You don't need a poo poo all over her titties, man. That's gross.
I didn't know that you could. I knew you can like. You could marry a dude if you wanted to, or if you were a female character, you can marry a. You could. There's homosexuality.
You can contract. You can get STDs in Fable.
That's just too damn real. Like this is supposed to be.
I just wanted to give a shout out to the LGBT out there.
Mad props, man.
Mad props.
You guys.
You can't forget the I, though.
Right.
There's
LGBTIQ.
Wait, who's the I?
The intersex or intersexual.
What are they?
It's like somebody who's born as both.
Yeah, they have
sexes,
both.
Okay.
Both parts.
I thought that was a hermaphrodite.
Right, that's what it would be.
That is what it would be.
But what do they call themselves?
Intersex.
Intersex, yeah.
Why don't they just go by hermaphrodite?
Well, why don't we go by
heterosexual?
heterosexual?
A little offensive, yeah.
How is that offensive?
It just sounds offensive.
I mean it sounds like
it's got a little bit of stank to it.
Why not just go by homosexual instead of gay or lesbian?
It sounds kind of like a fish,
right?
Like a hermaphrodite.
Hermaphrodite, like
I don't know. It sounds like a goddess to me.
Hermaphrodite. Yeah, it's like Aphrodite, I guess.
Yeah. That's cool, I guess. What was we said Q?
Oh, he said
Q. I think
Z.
Q is queer.
Oh, I thought. No, that's the name that they go by.
I legitimately had this conversation earlier with Miranda. Today.
Yeah.
Literally.
And with my dad around, and I'm pretty sure he was pretty uncomfortable with the whole thing.
Does your sister go off on like those certain subjects around him?
Why would she have?
Well, I just don't. I mean, I don't know if she has.
Just goes.
I don't know what her funnel or like her like. I don't know if she has one or like what.
A filter?
A filter, yeah. I don't know, like if she like.
She's got a conscious one, but it's not like.
Because I know she waits before I make a racist like a Mexican joke first before she starts busting out Mexican jokes.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, she's not racist.
No. I'm just saying.
Just like me, we gotta know who we're talking about if we're gonna make jokes. You know what I mean? We gotta very clearly make sure that person doesn't think that we have a problem with that race.
No, I absolutely understand. I'm just saying I don't know her filter, like I said before.
Right. You said funnel.
She funnel. Has one, it's just it's kind of she'd rather have her point out there.
I respect that. But I think in terms of like making people uncomfortable, that's sort of like okay.
Yeah. I don't know. She's not one to really hide how she feels.
No, I am like absolutely. I'm proud to consider her a friend for that reason, for that bravery. But I just,
she's got a filter.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad that question was finally answered. But anyways,
for the 5th time.
Yeah. But your Paul was getting uncomfortable.
Yeah, like, I think just because he's I don't want to call him homophobic, but he doesn't believe that that's right in the way that things should be done.
Right. I mean, every family's different. Every person's different.
I mean, most older people feel that way.
Yeah. I know people who are probably homophobic, but they just try to avoid it so that they don't get pushed into having to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And they just they don't want to catch it.
Yeah. They don't want to drink from the same water fountain as one of them.
Right. You're gonna give me the cooties, boy.
I don't know, man. What's the sexual preference where they don't identify as either?
Asexual. No.
I don't know, man. It's probably not in that long.
Because you're bringing in. I always thought it was just LGBT. I didn't know there was an I.
I didn't know that there was until I was in service.
Oh, okay.
And there was an LGBTI section.
Right.
I've
heard LGBTQ. We've talked about that in probably our first podcast. But yeah, man. I don't think it really matters. I think all in all, we just keep. I mean, as a society, we just kind of keep going about new ways to identify ourselves
or label.
Right, exactly. We come up with more labels and more labels, and the reality is life and existence cannot actually be put in a label. It can't be completely identified without missing some truth.
Right. I think all of that is just something that the media just has to do.
Right.
They have to get their kicks off by calling things like those cheesy like taglines that you see in the news whenever something comes up. Like there's a writer that thinks like this will really get them going.
Mm-hmm. Right. I definitely see where you're going with that, man. I think ultimately all labels are words, and all words are ways for us to identify things in general. The things that happen on this planet are all out of atoms, period. You know, it's not words before they're atoms. They're fucking atoms, and then we have to label. We have to identify what they are and how they work.
So that we can better understand it.
Exactly, and so we can communicate with other people to understand things a little bit better. But ultimately, you know, I think that, you know, maybe our society at this point has labeled a lot of things, at least in the social element. You know, of course, science could always use more labels to describe so we learn more and understand things a little bit better. But as far as socially, we probably go a little too far to some extent. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I mean, I think ultimately if you're, you know, caring, you know, and you're non-judgmental, you know, it doesn't matter how the other person labels or identifies them, you know, just see them as a person.
But do you think that, like, we'll stick with the LGBTIQ thing. Like, do you think that it's gotten to the point that that label is what they identify themselves solely as? Like, it's just gone on for too long, and they think like this is what we are. This is our group now. Like,
right. I don't know, man. I think
it was more of a place that they could feel comfortable being who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, but.
Well, I mean, a lot could go in the element of religion, you know? Mm-hmm. There are a lot of different groups, I'd say, that I fall into, you know, that certainly apply to me in that aspect. But, you know, really and truly, I'm just separating myself further and further the more names that I tag onto myself.
Yeah.
Well, you are an individual.
Exactly. I am an individual, but there's no reason for me to be like, I'm this and you're not. And let's focus on that. Let's make it very clear our differences when the reality is we're also the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think that in the terms of religion, that's where it starts to get more sketchy, because it seems like, you know, like there's always like a good purpose, like, or like something that they maybe intended on being like a good thing for it, but then it's the individuals inside that group that begin to turn it into something for the worse. Like, I'm sure, you know, in the very beginning, well, I mean, in the beginning it was probably the worst, because, you know, this cat shows up and everyone's like, yo, you're just a false prophet, you know, we're not going to follow you, know, we're going to, you know, keep doing our own thing.
Right.
You know, yeah, I'm sure it was rough. And then later on, you know, trying to take his stories and his gospels and everything like that and get those going back up and be like, yo, you saw what my boy JC did for us, man. Like, he's the real McCoy, you know, like, that's my boy. Right. So now, you know, you're trying to get people to see it and to feel it, and off of, and I'm going to jump off that, you know, obviously there's people who will make the argument, oh, there was no true evidence that there ever was, you know, my boy JC or anything like that. And there's people who are like, oh yeah, he was always around. You know, there's people who will have their theories, whatever.
Right. But that's a faith thing, man.
Yeah.
That's all. That is why that should actually remain personal.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was always said to me as a kid, and something that I lived by. I don't know why. When I was a little kid, someone told me that I always had to say, "May I please?" whenever I was asking for something. Just as manners, having good manners.
Right. And
that stayed with me. And then at a young age, somebody said, there's two things that you never want to talk about with friends, just so you don't offend anybody: politics and religion. That was told to me when I was in fucking like 5th or 6th grade. So I was maybe 9 or 10 years old.
Right.
I didn't even know anything about it either, you know, because
right.
you don't know anything about these things. But someone said, when you're talking to your friends, don't even bother bringing the subject, because you don't want to offend anybody.
Right. But I think that is certainly a great thing to start off with growing up. You know what I mean? Because you should be aware whenever you do bring up those conversations of the fact that you could be offending somebody or making them feel uncomfortable. So having that drawn out in your brain that specific way is a very important thing, because you are, it is, it is more respectful in a way. You know, it does show your integrity whenever you don't mention those. But I think it's also a really good thing to talk about those, because those are very important things for us to discuss and get a full-on understanding of in this lifetime. It's just how you go about it and understanding that prime, thing of you have to be cautious of what these words may do to somebody.
Right. Not just that, but being told that as a kid, you're not mature enough to have a discussion about religion or politics.
Totally. Yeah.
And, when you get older, when you're an adult and you are in that mindset, like, hey, not everybody has the same view as me, not everybody has the same opinions, but maybe I can talk to this person about it, and always ask beforehand, of course, hey, how do you feel about religion? If it's not something that you feel comfortable talking about, I respect that.
It's definitely a prime way to teach your children not to be dicks. That's for sure.
Right. Because there are kids that are dicks.
And a lot of assholes.
Oh, man. Dicks and assholes.
And a lot of kids that are pussies nowadays. That's
this new age of pussies, dicks, and assholes. It's disturbing.
It is.
I wouldn't put those together with kids, though. That just sounds horrible. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Pussy, dicks, and assholes as kids. I mean, like, just leave it alone.
You can't call them dicks, pussies, and assholes anymore?
No. Maybe a
what
little
changed?
Bitch. Maybe a little bitch.
Everybody became pussies now. That's
everybody's pussies now. Yeah.
Not just the kids, but grown-ups are fucking pussies now, man. Like,
that's true.
Don't go calling him a pussy.
I'm not gonna call him a pussy. I'm gonna call him a little bitch. No, I'm just kidding.
You show right.
Nah. Oh man, I can't. I dread the day that I ever have a kid. Solely because, like.
So do I.
Yeah.
We're not ready for that shit, man.
Yeah.
You do not need to procreate. No, I'm just kidding.
No. Like, there's this musician. His name's Anthony Green. He's the lead singer of Circus Survive, which is my number 2 favorite band of all time. And,
wait, isn't Anthony Green like an old blues singer?
No, you're thinking of Al Green.
Al Green.
Yeah. He's far from that, but
Circus Survive.
Yeah. But he's very open. Like, he takes a lot of pictures and posts them with him and his kids and his wife, like his whole family. He posts pictures, and just today, I want to say he posted this picture of his son. He had a bite mark on him, and it looked like a human bite mark, and he was saying, I share my life with everyone, and everyone gets a glimpse of what my kids are like, and my wife is like, and what our household is like. But the truth is, that's just what I choose to show you, and that's just the image that I want to remember. It's not always perfect. Sometimes you wake up and find that your son was bit by his older brother.
Right.
You're not going to wake up to those perfect, beautiful mornings that you envision life to be like, especially whenever kids become, kids are part of your life now. But it's like those moments that you choose to remember, and those mental pictures, and then those physical pictures that you take and you share with the world, like that, like that positivity that you stick with. And sure, there's going to be the good days and the bad days or whatever, but it's those pictures that you leave in your mind, or you create in your mind, that really, I guess, put everything into perspective.
Right.
Because I'm sure either one of you, whenever you close your eyes, or you might see your kids, or you're in a situation you don't even think about it, you see something like that kind of reminds me of my boy or my girl. I think it's just the things that you choose to carry around with you. I mean, because obviously, since I don't have kids, I carry a lot of memories or people that
right.
Like that are in my life nowadays, either older than me or around the same age or whatever. But I think when you carry around like those mental images, or those actual physical photographs, because nobody ever carries photographs. They just bust out their fancy smartphone and scroll, they have to scroll past all their dick pics to get to their picture of what came out of their dick. You know what I mean? But
you would know a lot about that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, sure do, man. Actually, I'm gonna be with you. I did a pretty good clean sweep on my phone, not of dick pics, but of other pictures.
Titty pics.
Yeah.
Pussy pics.
It was a big moment for me, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to let go of that shit.
Did you count how many there was?
There's probably like maybe 30 or 40, I want to say. But that's
the dick count.
No. Like, that's like a compilation since like 2010 or so. Like, you know, like over the years type shit. You know, like my like best of.
You saved it before you deleted it, right?
Exactly. No, I always send them to my email just in case.
You get lonely.
Just in case, like whenever I go through those moments, we're like, okay, man, I really like this chick, but if she ever goes through my phone and sees all of these asses and tits, it's like, I'm done for it, man. Like, there's some shit that nobody needs to see. Just send it to my email. I know where to find it. I'm safe.
No, your phone is not hooked up to your email, is it?
No. Thank God for that.
I just want to reiterate that most of those people who probably sent you some stuff are listening to us right now.
Nah, not at all. But no, like I did a pretty clean sweep, and it was probably because like some girl came into my life, but like they were the only person that I could think of at the time.
Right.
So I was like, I don't need this shit anymore. But
I tell you
still
what,
in my emails.
There you go.
Just in case.
Backup
It is
plan.
always a good thing to clear those pictures out, because it gives you that comfortability if somebody was going through your phone.
Right.
You know what I mean? If somebody was swiping, if you were trying to show somebody a picture of something on your phone.
Yeah, we were.
You don't have to worry about sliding and
I've had people tell me, just be careful. You don't want to see this. Hold on. Let me just find it real fast.
No, those people that tell you that, they want you to fucking go through their phone.
I'm not going to go through their phone. No.
I'm just saying, when you mention it,
I need another drink, though.
You're wanting them to go through it.
Could you get me one too?
Yeah.
I think the worst memory I ever had about...
We're the host. I'm just kidding.
That's how it is.
The worst memory I have of being in a situation like that, I won't say his name because I don't want to embarrass him, but we were going through some pictures. He was going through pictures on his phone. I want to say he was just showing like either it was like a car, like something that he wanted to show off.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, dude, check these pictures that I took of this new thing that I got." And show pictures. It's like, "Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Oh no, dick pic. Oh no."
Yeah, but okay, you got to realize, man, there are those people who, even though they're a dude, even though they're a straight dude, they feel like they're proud of something, and they do want to get it off their chest.
Yeah, because after I saw it, and after he knew I saw it, I was like, Psh, I don't see what the big deal is. I mean, like he didn't want to make...
There was that pride that he had, yeah.
Obviously, there was.
Did you want me to open it?
Oh, no, I'm fine.
I was going to say...
I'm not even finished with this one.
Are you sure you don't want me to drink it for you, too?
No, I'm good. Yeah, that's like... I've never been in that situation, but like I said, that was probably the worst moment I ever was in. Simply because it was like a really close friend. It wasn't you. It was like a truly close... No. It was a truly close friend that I've been friends with for years. And I saw it, man.
Have you ever had those moments where, all right, so say you take pictures. What?
Sorry, it was a mosquito. I wasn't trying to brush her hair like that.
Okay, good. Anyways, so like I had this I had my camera, I had my memory card in it, and I had taken pictures, and there were pictures I've never taken with my phone, but they were on my computer.
Uh-huh.
All right, and so I guess while I was like uploading pictures onto there, somehow it got onto my SD card in like a hidden way. Mm-hmm. So when and I'd go through it and I never see it. So I was like, okay, well maybe it's not there anymore. There was one time we went to California and my mom was uploading pictures of the kids. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden she ended up uploading a couple of dirty pictures of another woman. I told my mom, I was like, don't ask. She's like, I'm not. Delete. But I don't know how it got on there. Like, every time.
Do you think you were framed or something?
No, like I think it was a glitch of some kind because I never had it on. I see you trying to catch it. Anyways, I never saw it on the memory card. Mm-hmm. And after I did see that, like, I'd put it in my camera and I'd scroll through all the pictures and I never saw it. But the second I put it into my computer, once I got home, it was there.
Yeah.
And it's like, how the hell can a picture be on my memory card that I had never used to take the picture?
I don't know.
But it was on my computer at one point.
Explain that fucking family that was on your SD card that just came out of nowhere.
Which family?
It was on a camera. And you just had these pictures of this family. And you're like, I don't know how the fuck these guys just appeared on my camera.
I kind of feel like you just told a story.
I don't remember that.
All right, well, exactly what I just said.
So there was just these random
I deleted
pictures.
it, and now my I don't know, man.
Those are not pictures that you decided to keep with you in your mind,
Yeah.
obviously. So what you're saying is that was it a previously owned camera?
Is it this camera that I have right here?
I don't know.
That's the only camera that I've ever had.
I think so.
Well, I deleted it.
It had a memory card or whatever, and you had pictures of you and your family, and then out of nowhere, there's like these Hispanic people, and like maybe giving birth or something like that.
No, that wasn't mine. No, it was mine because I remember uploading it up onto the computer. I was like, I have no idea who the fuck these people are.
That's weird. Weren't they giving birth?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah. They crept into your house and stole your camera.
Just for their child's birth.
Thank you very much.
Gracias.
They put it right back where you had it.
No, I do remember that.
Like, that's some crazy shit.
That was the girl was beautiful though.
As most Mexican women are.
Oh no, you don't have to apologize.
I'm sorry. Anyways,
that random chick that just showed up on my camera.
Yeah. Did you do that?
No.
You didn't take pictures with my camera while I was away?
No, I didn't take pictures of this Hispanic family giving birth. No. Or is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
I think she's trying to insinuate that you the roles were reversed and you turned into the cheap labor for them. They're like they paid you to take pictures of their family.
I'm living a double life right now. Actually, I'm the uncle of a Mexican family.
You're the Tio.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember what you're talking about now. I really do. That was weird.
Yeah.
It creeped me out.
That's crazy.
I don't know how I would react to something like that.
Really
I think I would like try and like find them.
No. Yeah. I just deleted them.
Face recognition.
Put up like
let's go to Mexico.
Put up, you staple signs to electric poles. Do you know this family?
That looks like them. No, wait, that looks like them. No, those guys, that's them.
We don't all look alike.
Yeah, you do.
What the fuck ever?
No, I think ultimately
you don't look like everybody else. But everybody else looks like you.
Ultimately, when we're talking about race and the same thing looks alike to you, I think it just has to do with the race that you're more familiar with.
I've been told that all white girls look the same.
No.
By black guys.
Right, but I mean, if they're probably from like some part of Africa where there's not a whole lot of white people, that's where they would think. Like, I don't know the difference between Japanese and Chinese people or the other East Asians at all. But if I had lived down there, I would be able to pick up that particular thing.
Because you were in that culture. Now, what I don't get, though, is how can black girls have, like, the same kind of hair? Okay. Unless they're mixed. Right. Mexicans have the same color hair, maybe thicker, thinner, whatever, but most of the time straight or wavy. White girls have blonde hair, red hair, they have brown hair, black hair. Like, they have so many different colors and different styles. Some of them are curly.
Eye color.
Yeah, exactly. So and so whenever I was told that white girls all look the same, it confused me so much. My mind was blown.
Here's the
being
thing,
told
though.
that.
White really isn't a single culture.
No, that's true.
You've got, you're Irish, you've got your German, and then you've got, all kinds of European.
You know which ones are weird? Like the weird, Russian sort of Afghani kind of, like the Slovakian type people, because like they're Russian, but they kind of have the skin color of like the lower like the Middle Eastern countries that are right beneath them. So you kind of get the feeling.
So yeah, you've got those people, and then you've got living in the same fucking country, the really blonde, blue eye, kind of Russian, and they talk to us, to our understanding, about the same.
Yeah.
But Russia's also fucking giant.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of reason why there's several subcultures within the culture of Russia, because there is not a Russian culture, not a single one,
You're sort of turning Russia to be like the great unknown of
It is, isn't it though?
Like the deep abyss of America.
Right, absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I know for a fact that I would want to travel just about everywhere.
I want to go to Japan.
If I had the opportunity to go anywhere, I would just go
Saudi Arabia.
Go just about everywhere. But I don't know. I mean, Russia, it's always snowing.
Saudi Arabia is the only place I know for sure that I'm not down with. Or Australia, because there's all kinds of deadly animals.
But like, what if you went to like Sydney? That
was an English accent.
That was my Ringo, or no, that was like my Paul McCartney.
It was British.
Sydney. Nah.
Sydney. Sydney.
That's like southern.
That's
England.
like Johnny.
Sydney.
or Melbourne. Or Tasmania. No, Tasmania is actually like in the desert. Like that's where.
Where is Tasmania?
That's where I think you'd die.
Ireland. I want to go to Ireland.
Go?
Ireland or Japan?
I would want to go to like that, like the Ireland, Scotland area.
Yeah.
First off, I've always
wanted to wear a dress, so
I always just wanted to like. I mean, not turning it into like a novelty, but like enjoy the tradition of like drinking a good pint with fellow Irish folk, and like just watching like a football game with them, or like just being in their element and enjoying their culture with them. Like I know I would probably be like singled out because I wasn't a part of it and I didn't understand it, but I would just love to just observe and watch. Like I always enjoy watching people, and I don't mean that in the creeper kind of way, but I enjoy just like trying to figure out people by observing them and like the way that they act or their emotions, even if it's a complete stranger. I would used to sit on the curb and just watch people walk by, and I think, I'm sure this guy's a hardworking man. I'm sure he's got a good life going for him. Just sort of just it's who's to say if it's true or false, but that was just something that has always appealed to me. Just be observant,
focus on the culture of it. Absolutely,
and like I
think we should really just start. And this doesn't exactly buy in exactly to what you're talking about, but ideally, man, you know how like we do Cinco de Mayo, and we really go full force. What was the last time we watched Blood In, Blood Out and had Mexican food? I'm pretty sure that's what we did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah, well, if we do that with Hispanic holiday, we could do that with St. Patrick's Day, man. And we could do that for every culture. We can wait for Black History Month and smoke menthol cigarettes.
You would not pick up a cigarette.
We could do 40s.
Wanted you to just stay silent.
40s.
If you would have just stayed silent and just be a dead silence for that stupid remark that you just made.
By the way, everybody listening, man, I'm if I don't cut that out,
you're not going to
apologize. I'm just kidding. I'm playing on stereotypes.
But kind of going off what you're saying, though, I mean, yeah, it makes sense not to just celebrate one thing or like to be to exclude one culture out. I mean, yeah, it's great to celebrate all cultures,
Right, absolutely.
Though I don't know so much about like the Japanese and like all of their years.
Me neither.
Like the year of the dog and the year of the scorpion and like all these like hardcore years that they have. The year of the rat.
I'm a
I don't get it.
I'm a cat.
I'm year of the rabbit.
There's like a Celtic a horoscope thing where like the animals are completely different than what the normal horoscope is.
Right.
Like I'm Sagittarius, so I'm like the archer.
Right.
Right. But like according to the Celtic horoscope, I'm like a fucking a bird of some sort.
You're a Stark.
No, I'm not. I'm like a crow or like a raven, like some kind of bird, and completely threw me off because I'm so used to just being the archer. Now I'm a bird.
Spread your wings.
You're a
and
bird
fly,
kind of
man.
guy.
I don't know.
Yeah, you like to sit and watch.
Oh God, man, you're such
Holy
a bird guy.
shit. Wait. Mind
You just
fucking
blew his fucking
blown.
mind.
Hashtag mind blown. Let's start it. Anyways, no, I guess that makes sense. I mean, anytime I've ever read, anytime anybody reads horoscopes, they're always like, "Oh, I kind of see how that applies to me." Oh, like
applies to everybody.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, it's not for one set thing. It's always open to anybody. But then you read like certain things about like I remember I was reading like my horoscope. I'm Sagittarius. My element is like fire. Like my planet is like Venus, and like all these like random facts, like random things, like of what like I am.
Yeah.
Right.
And I remember at that age, I was like, I kind of do like fire.
Right, of course, yeah.
If I could choose an element, I'd choose fire. This is like reading my mind.
Oh my God, Venus is my favorite planet. It reminds me of the commercial.
That's your Venus.
But you read into these things, and I don't know. I guess your mind finds a way to.
I do have a theory in it.
Okay.
I do have a theory with the whole zodiac symbols and stuff and star signs.
Okay, you
All
go
right,
on.
Let me
for,
get my gun ready.
You go on for a while, and I'm gonna catch up on these drinks.
Let me start off with I do have a pretty solid theory, and I still consider it all bullshit. But here's my theory. I think that whenever
Thank you.
we have these star signs that apply to how we are in personality, I think ultimately whenever we're being conceived, whenever we're growing inside as the smallest creatures, I think we're ultimately, our brains are so sensitive in that growing aspect before we're actually born. Mm-hmm. And I think that the seasons apply to the host essentially a certain way to where it affects the child growing inside.
By host, you mean our mamas?
Yes. Okay. Tell me they're not hosts. I mean, we're parasites.
Yeah, you guys are parasitic little tumors.
Right, so. Absolutely. No, but I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like, I think that if we're talking about star signs, we're talking about changes in gravitational pull.
Yes.
So with that, if we have changes in gravitational pull, I'm sure that it can affect the brains by actually some small, minuscule degree.
I'm just gonna chime in as a semi-buzz theory. Okay, like waves,
right?
How that's affected by the gravity from the moon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You think that like same shit's going on with like brain waves?
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Shit, man.
Not only brain waves, but I mean just the general, because it is a gravity thing, so it does pull the brain a certain way. That's theory number one. You all understand?
Yeah.
See.
Okay. Theory number two. Seasons and the way that things are working. Like perhaps, it being colder in some specific parts of the year versus other parts. And the time frame that all that happens affects the host, as we're talking about, in different ways. And that possibly also affects the child, while they're born. So like just different changes and similarities and behavior of the parent or the mother, it would have to be the mother. The specific changes and behavior of the mother due to the part of the season, due to part of the year and everything that happens. I'm sure that does both of those things together, interlocked, have some sort of subatomic, effect on the child, and perhaps whenever the baby is that small and their brains are so sensitive, it may affect it a little bit, but it ultimately is a giant change for whenever they get older and that grows the way that it does.
So you don't think that it starts off when the sperm is still in the father? No, not the personality, but like, because everything starts somewhere and it always starts with a man.
No, I don't think so. I think it's all conditional. I think it has everything to do with,
when they start developing.
Right. What's the term? natural versus
nature, or nature versus
nurture.
Nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that nurture is nature. Okay. The way that I describe that is, I think that ultimately nurture is king. Okay. I think nurture also counts within the womb. You know what I mean? And I think that everything is effective at the point of when the mother is pregnant. Every little detail affects it probably stronger. And of course, as a child grows, the smaller they are, the more effect is given to them. Right. More things are more important, more stronger. You really have to do everything you can whenever you are a mother.
So you think it applies to all children or just some?
What?
I mean, their development, and pretty much your whole theory of everything.
Well, my whole theory of the star signs is actually bullshit. I think it's just however you take it. I just think it's a good
fun talking.
Right. No, I think it's a good theory though. I think that if you're gonna believe in the star signs, it shouldn't be like the metaphysical magic of it. Right. Like I think that it's ultimately gonna have a scientific, deeper meaning if it exists.
Right.
But ultimately, I still find it bullshit, and I think it's just you take these things and apply it to your life, and because it just, we can find truth in any of them.
Right.
We can look through the whole list of shit, and it's like, yeah, wow, I am courageous. Yeah, I mean, I am a great talker. Wow, I am actually a shitty talker. Wow, I am actually afraid a lot of the time. That's crazy. It could pinpoint me like that. I'm afraid. And I'm courageous. It's got me. This is fucking dead set. No, you see what I'm saying? I do think ultimately it's bullshit. But on the part whenever we're talking about nurture versus nature, I strongly agree that nurture is king. I think that everything is essentially nurture. And I think that only like DNA, only accounts mostly for the physical outlooks, some obviously psychological stuff, but I think, nurture is king.
To chime in on that, I learned in my music psychology class, I found out the reason why we like the music that we do. And I don't mean to drop this bomb on you, but the reason that you like the music that you do is not because of music that you heard in your early days and then you listen to them in the future and you're like, man, that was like the prime years of my life, man. 98? Are you fucking kidding me, man? That was fucking prime time. No, it's not.
97 maybe.
97, 98. But reason that you like the music that you do is because ever since you were developing in your mother's womb, your brain was recording the entire time. Mm-hmm. It was recording the sounds. It was recording everything that was going around you. And when you're born, somehow, some way, you know who your mama and who your daddy are. Mm-hmm. If they're present in your life.
Right.
Because you recognize the sounds of their voices.
Mm-hmm.
Those vibrations from the sounds of your mama's and papa's voices stimulated your ear. I mean, you go up to a belly and you talk to it. Maybe they respond, maybe they don't.
Right.
But the baby knows who's its mom's voice. They know who's its papa's voice because of what it hears. So those vibrations, those sounds that we hear, are remnant of when we would listen to our moms and pops talk to us when we were babies.
God, this is why I like Guns N' Roses.
I don't imagine your dad having...
I legitimately actually see my dad as Axl Rose in some really weird offbeat way. I've told him and he's like, really?
I'm saying that because your dad has such like a very manly low voice.
Right.
Yeah.
So...
But whenever I was young, and this is the difference of what you're talking about,
okay.
But whenever I was young, I remember him singing all the time, like, take me down to the paradise city where the girls are green and they got big titties. Like, that's something that he would continuously,
right,
all the time do. And so in my head, he is Axl Rose. And it's,
right.
I don't
No, I'm the same way. My dad was the Terminator.
Oh, really?
Because first off, my dad is a former bodybuilder. Mm-hmm. He was in the.
How did I not know that?
Well, no, he's a former Marine.
Mm-hmm.
And surprisingly, I think you met my dad maybe once or twice. You probably never met my dad.
I met him
but
once.
He's a husky dude.
Mm-hmm.
He enjoys his buffets at the Golden
Corral. I feel like you're trying to set me up on a date.
No.
Here.
He's also a Sagittarius, and he enjoys a good margarita. No, but
who doesn't enjoy a good margarita?
He went into the Marines when he was like a real skinny dude, and then he came out like a pretty like he gained a lot of muscle, so he was pretty swole.
Well, I like him so far. And
he got into that whole getting into shape and exercising, and he got really big into beefing up, and and we would watch Terminator, and he would always pretend to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he would
I'll be back.
Exactly. Every chance he could, he would quote him. Like, if we were in the living room, me and my brother were in the living room, and he was like, "Hey, do you guys want a sandwich?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's like a peanut butter sandwich." And he was like, "Okay, I'll be back."
I can't do it.
Everybody freeze.
The chopper. No. But yeah, he would always do that.
Do the chopper thing and give it.
Dude, that was awesome.
The chopper.
The chopper.
Dad, why do we have to go to the chopper? Get to the chopper now.
Come with me if you want to live.
But no, he would always do that.
It's just a motorcycle.
I don't care. Get to the chopper.
This is California. We call it a chopper.
Dad, we're in Defiance, Ohio. I don't care. But anyways, he would always be Arnold Schwarzenegger. So to me, my dad was like the Terminator,
right?
Or close second, Darth Vader,
right?
Because every time he would call me and like say I'd missed the phone call because I was doing something or I was just a bastard son. He would leave a voicemail. Niko, this is your father.
That's funny because my dad's second persona was Ozzy Osbourne. So,
really?
Yeah.
How would he be Ozzy?
He would just sing the songs, man. I'm just like in my head. Okay, yours is Darth Vader, or the chopper guy.
Yeah.
The Governator.
Yeah.
And mine is Ozzy Osbourne.
And
or Axl Rose.
Yeah.
This is how we're brought up, man.
Exactly. How about you, Kristi?
My dad's a MacGyver.
Really?
That's how I feel about my dad.
Oh my God. That was a random one.
My dad can fix anything with anything. That's how I see my dad. All right.
That was so left field. I was like, my dad was a David Cross. And Andy Dick, really.
Like, I look up to my dad. I respect my dad. And every single time that I see him, I always feel like he can solve any problem that I am having.
Right.
That's just how I see him. He is my hero.
So if you were to like come to him with like
he's my Superman.
No,
okay, I'm sorry.
if you were to come to him with like you're having like boyfriend problems or you're having like something like that, he's like, hang on a second, I'm gonna get a toothpick and a rubber band and I'm gonna fix this fucking problem.
He probably would say something like that.
I got duct tape. We got it under control.
I'll be there, and give me 24 hours. I'll be down there. And we'll take care of this problem ASAP. Just remember, I know how to hide a body and not get caught.
Right.
He didn't say that, did he?
Not about you.
Okay.
That's crazy. Like how obviously, I would think our parents are different. I'm sure if we were to look at it, I'm sure your mom and my mom were both hippies, and I'm sure. My dad was just as much of a Mr. Fix-It as your dad was. I'm sure we could find similarities. Right. Yeah. But it's crazy how a parent has that individual touch on like a human being's like psyche, or like they're like you physically. I could physically look at my dad right now, and I'll see a husky, good-looking brown man, with some gray whiskers coming along, but all overall, good-looking dude. But in my head, I see Superman. I see the Terminator. I see Darth Vader. I see
Axl Rose.
Polar opposite of your dad, like in every single way. But that's what I'm saying. Like you have like it's kind of like when we were talking about musicians and how we see them as like rock gods,
right?
Golden gods. Like they're flesh and bones like everyone else, but we kind of create this golden aura around them to where
we keep putting the pussy on a pedestal.
Exactly.
Right.
We both just look at Kristi for that one, for acceptance, right?
I don't even think that they know who I am.
Right?
Whoever the listeners are, I don't think that they know who I am yet.
It's really
I never introduced myself.
Anyways, so
right.
no, like our parents have like certain effects on us to where we only see them as certain things. Could be a positive, could be a negative. I'm sure in each family household there are a little bit of both. Right. I mean, because no family is perfect or whatever. Everyone has their faults, but we tend to always latch on to like certain pictures. We send like certain characters in our heads as daily reminders of who these people really are. Because if for any reason your dad was to do, or any of our parents were to do like a really shitty thing, that image would be kind of tarnished.
Right.
It would be like, you see Superman and his cape is a little bit ruffled up. Or he's got bruises on him. Right. It's like that's not the way you're supposed to be. You're impervious to pain.
I think we keep focusing on the differences here, but I mean ultimately there's obviously we wouldn't be the same people that we are if it wasn't for the fact that our parents are obviously truly loving people.
Right.
Really compassionate people, because that's the kind of people that we've become. Not only that, but I mean, there's certainly some sort of integrity and ethics that they have that have made us become, close people to where we,
But that doesn't go for all of the people that are from that parent, because seeing that I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, some of them are good people. Some of them I just don't get along with because of, certain situations, I mean, you got, and I don't want to go off into like names or anything like that, even though that they are my siblings. Hopefully nobody.
There's no necessity to ever talk down upon anybody.
Yeah, like I love my family. I do, but everybody, I am nothing like my other siblings, nothing like them, but that's because of the path that I've chosen. I wouldn't say that it's from my parents, but the people that I surrounded myself with while I was growing up. So you can't just look at just the parents themselves, but true. Of course your environment,
the path,
the people that you surround yourself with.
I don't think that we would have been the kind of people that we were. I don't think that we could have been decent human beings if our parents were specifically shitty people.
I think we started off as good people because of our parents, but you also have,
and we could always bounce off the path, but it's almost impossible for somebody who had been like sexually or physically abused to be the kind of person, the kind of people that we are. Not that it can't happen, but there is so much damage that can happen off of those things. Yeah. It's insane. 100% of fucking serial killers, like real serial killers, were abused. Yeah. I'm probably not 100%, but fucking damn near.
Right.
Like every memorable one, every one that you can name and know, Richard Ramirez, fucking Gacy, like all these, every single one of them were terribly abused. Right. And that is a lot of not necessarily what makes a human being, but that certainly can destroy them.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
Making a murderer.
That's fucking insane. Yeah. I never saw that series yet.
I
saw the first episode, and I'm not really digging it.
It takes place in Wisconsin, because, I mean, you could have just figured that out from either watching it or reading about it, but I found out, having lived in Wisconsin, people from Sheboygan, saying, yo, this dude didn't do it. We need help signing this petition to, do something to get, the trial back up or whatever. And I remember thinking yo, I only lived there for 2 years. I don't know the dude.
Right.
I'm not a Sheboygan night anymore.
Wisconsin was where Ed Gein was from, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They're
known.
Didn't you listen to a podcast about it?
I've listened to three episodes of Last Podcast on the Left. Quick plug.
I don't know. I think Wisconsin is known for its brats, its drunken women, partiers, and I guess.
I feel like
Ed
you're
Gein.
talking about Ireland or Scotland.
No, I'm not. Well, funny enough, a lot of Sheboygan had a lot of like German ancestry and a lot of Irish and a lot of Germans and Irish people. So maybe that's why they maybe
potatoes and beer.
Yeah,
a lot of potheads.
Well, funny enough, I went to visit there in like 2008, and everybody just turned into a fucking pothead. So Sheboygan sort of lost its magic, but that's okay. I love Sheboygan.
You know, back on the conversation, when we were talking about music, you were talking about music and, you know, how it happens when they're infants.
Right.
I really wanted to plug the movie August Rush.
Totally. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in so long, but I remember watching it, and that was like some serious shit going on. Like
that is one of the most beautiful movies ever. Fucking
I can
August
honestly
Rush.
say I have not seen it.
You're gonna see it.
Oh, well.
And
I'm glad that you point that out.
And yeah, you don't have a choice. I'm just
Nah.
kidding. I'm just kidding. You have to. You got to watch the movie because it's pretty good. Robin Williams.
Yeah, Robin Williams
Who's
is
in it?
Okay, yeah, I'm sold.
That's all you needed to say, John.
Yeah. But no, it's a great story, and I wish I was more drunk so I could try out my segment that I want to try, where I get like shit faced drunk, and I try to.
You want to try?
No, but like, or I get so drunk and I try and like describe a movie, and like try and convince you to watch it, but like I'm so drunk I like fuck up everything.
I thought we were doing this next week.
I have no idea how we're gonna do it, but
we could.
I feel like I could have done it for that one. Sunday. I'm such a fuck up. Anyways, great movie. Yeah, but that really shows like the effect of music on people.
Right.
Oh man,
it's the effect of music on a child, and we can back that up with what we witnessed the other week. Your son, who has autism, got behind the kiddie drum set that we have. And just went to fucking town on the motherfucker.
That was awesome.
It was. You could tell he was really listening to the notes.
Yeah.
Like he was putting his head next to each drum as he hit it, and he had
just to hear the sound.
Path. Yeah, he had a path. He would do that drum and that drum and that drum and that. I
but
know that he has
tried.
these
He tried to stay with what looked similar. You know, you had the ones that are like cymbals, and then you had the two that were the same size, and then you had the two big ones, and then you had the kick drum. You know, I mean, like he and I tried to get him to switch it up. You know, where he'd hit like one of the little toms and then hit like one of the big ones down there. And, you know, he did that once and then he did it again with the other side, you know. And it was just, it took a little bit for us to do that, but.
You know who I really noticed out of all the kids that have played the drums that really fucking got it?
Annabelle?
No.
Who?
Madeline.
I didn't really get to see her play.
Oh my goodness. And is she the youngest?
She's 4. She's the same age as Elias.
Elias is almost 5.
Yeah, but she'll be 5 this year, I think.
Yeah.
Madeline, yeah. I didn't really get to see Madeline play because
she rocked out.
She
was actually giving it like.
I was watching 4 kids.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But I'm just saying if I'm sure it's probably not gonna be the last time.
No, I know Annabelle was really getting it too. And the fact that she's left-handed, though, I know that you got to restring her guitar.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a big problem, though.
No, but
is she left-handed?
She
or
is
ambidextrous?
left-handed.
She's straight up.
She is straight up left-handed. Donovan is
ambidextrous.
Yes,
right.
Rosie is right. So.
I wish I'd have known that whenever Santa got the guitar.
But she seems to enjoy it, man. Like, whenever I was hanging out with her and she was playing on it, and she was playing with the effects that are on the amplifier, she had a whole lot of fun with it.
Yeah,
that's good.
I'm glad that everybody's kids are very influenced by music. I mean, this house always seems like such a musical home, and I think it's great that the children are influenced by music as well.
Right.
Music.
I may not be musically,
inclined.
Yeah, I'm really not. But I see how it has gotten people through their childhood, their teen years and things like that. And,
no, I mean, okay, you've got the most important aspect that music can ever have. Period. Right. You're a listener.
Yeah.
That's more important than being a performer.
Right.
If you can actually enjoy music,
mm-hmm.
you've already got the most important fucking step down.
Right.
That is, I mean, I think of myself as a pretty decent musician. Totally a lot of room for improvement. I see that in every instrument I play. I mean, I'm not,
You're not a pro at everything that you do.
No, absolutely. I'm not a pro at technically anything, But I am, I'm more grateful of my skill of listening to it. Not that it's a skill, but I mean, I really get it, whenever people play music.
See, whenever you guys are listening to music and you guys are doing your whole hand things or, acting like you're playing.
We also see it differently.
I can't hear everything that you guys are hearing. Right. So whenever I see you guys doing that, and I'll have to listen really hard to hear what you guys are hearing. But eventually I can be like, oh, okay, so that's where that sound is. It's hiding behind this.
Right. But also the simplistic view that you have of music is actually a necessary thing in like certain things like mastering or something like that. You're able to pick up on certain things that probably shouldn't be picked up as much, or you're picking up like it's very important to have somebody like you around that doesn't quite understand the details of each instrument.
If I could say, you definitely have something that I think I don't have anymore, where I'm like constantly observant. Like I've said it before. Like, if you play music for a long time, it's a lot like it's not like figuring out that the wizard in Wizard of Oz isn't a giant green man. It's actually just the little man behind
a curtain.
Behind the curtain,
yeah.
the man behind the curtain. You figure out what's at the end of the road. It's no longer a mystery. You know what I mean? So if I listen to music, I pretty much unless someone says, "Oh, this is actually that," and I had no idea, but for the most part, I know what's going on.
Right.
But there's really no room for mystery unless someone just creates a brand new instrument that's just completely unheard of. But you could listen to music and you may not know, but your mind, like not knowing, still gives you some sort of like you're trying to discover, you're trying to figure it out.
Right.
And that leaves some room for enjoying the track a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Like I listen to a track and like I know the drums are doing this, I know that the guitars are doing this, I know that this weird sound is actually some scraping of some string and everything.
But you're missing out on the actual wizard. You can't see the wizard.
Yeah.
And if we're musicians and we're trying to make the fucking wizard, and we can't see it, it's much more difficult to actually paint that picture, and we need people who can see the wizard to shadow it for us, to really explain it.
Absolutely. Right. But I guess sticking on this topic of music, we can try and wrap this talk up a little bit. Like in general, like what are like the type of jams that like you? I don't want to say what you've been listening to, but like what are like the types of songs that like attract you? Like what are the things that whenever you hear, like say like you were to hear songs, like say like your favorite band was to come out with a new album, and then you would listen to it, and then you'd be like, okay, that song was great, but it's like, but then they would do like a different kind of songs, like that's what I like about,
I like really upbeat, happy songs, almost like Maroon 5 type songs.
Okay.
Now, Johnny, of course, has an influence on me lately, where he'll show me something, and like I become obsessed with it. Like A Perfect Circle or Tool.
Right.
Which is something that I've really been listening to a lot lately, and granted, I don't have the patience to go find new things. So once I get obsessed with something, I obsess over it for like 5 or 6 months.
Right.
So, but normally it's upbeat songs, Maroon 5, what are their name? Oh God.
Some maybe Bruno Mars, maybe.
Yeah, Bruno Mars. That's it.
Right.
things like that. I really enjoy because it gets you moving, it gets you kind of energetic, and it's got a good beat.
Locked Out of Heaven was one that always got my kids dancing every time it came on.
Skillet, Monster, or Hero. Every single time I see Rosie or Annabelle, put on Hero, put on Monster.
I learned how to play Monster on guitar for them.
I know, and thank you so much for that. So, but to me, that's still an upbeat song.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Johnny's not a big fan of Skillet, but that's something that I do enjoy. Or 6 a.m.
So you enjoy like the stuff that makes you want to move or gets you going a little bit. You wouldn't be up to like listening to music that just makes you want to like just chill out.
See, now if I'm in like a sad mood, I have my little soundtrack for that. I've got the Mushroom Head Nowhere to Go song, the Mudvayne World So Cold song.
Absolutely. So like that's it for me. Like I like music that just makes you feel.
Yeah.
So those songs have that.
Whenever I'm in those kind of moods, like I have a certain soundtrack that I listen to. Mm-hmm. But if I'm just wanting to get up and get moving, I'm gonna throw in some fucking Maroon 5 or Bruno Mars. Like you said. 6 a.m. is another good one that I like to dance to.
Right.
But I normally adjust myself to like my kids, but they have a weird thing too. Usher,
Nice.
Some Usher songs. I mean, they're 7 and 6 years old.
That's how old I was when I first heard Usher. Shit.
Hey man, we've already had podcasts where Niko talks straight about some Usher.
Yeah, but like some of the Scream. All right, my kid should not be singing that song.
Got It Bad by Usher. That was my shit.
Take It Off by Kesha. Yeah.
Fucking Brandy or Monica. You remember
Brandy and Monica? Yeah.
Who does that song Pony Ride? Because I like that one a lot. It sounds like frogs, like from the Budweiser, like rap, 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 rap.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like frogs throwing up every time I hear the song, but like I like that because I'm focused on that, like that alone, because it's disturbing.
But I am also into country, even though that Johnny doesn't enjoy it. Taylor Swift, one of my I used to sing that to Annabelle when she was a baby.
Right.
That was the soundtrack that I was singing her to sleep. And I told her about it, and so we started listening to that for a little bit because I got obsessed with it. So it just depends on the mood. Lately it's just been a little bit of Perfect Circle, Tool, and I still have my Maroon 5 that I listen to, so.
And Acid Bath when I'm in the car.
Yeah, but that's not my choice.
I'm just kidding. I know you.
I get music raped sometimes.
Yeah.
That sounds very violent.
Sometimes you got to do it violent, Niko.
Sometimes they might like it. I'm just saying.
Anyways, so to wrap the show up, I think we always try to bring in some music, or we try and bring in a song of some sorts, into our shows. But since you're the guest,
no,
seriously, like what's like a song that like something that is maybe represents something that you're going through in life, or just like a track that you. I mean, we don't have to play it, but we can list songs that like are present in our lives right now. Like for me right now, it's This Time Is For Real by Il Nino. Yeah, we listened to that song the other day, and the reason I love it is like it has so much goddamn emotion to it, and like the chorus, like whenever he's belting out "This Time's For Real," is there anything I want? Is there anything I need, or whatever? Like
anything I wanted.
Yeah, like you really feel like, man, this guy is like on like. Maybe this is the last chance for him.
Right.
Maybe he's gonna wake up tomorrow and it's all gone. But like in this moment,
at least he gave it everything.
Exactly, and like to me, that's sort of present in my life right now. I mean, I'm nowhere near done doing anything, but I feel like sometimes is this it for me? Like, and I think that's just putting everything into perspective.
You should live your life like that though, too.
Yeah.
I did have a break from the prison working.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds so bad, but. That's something that I've been listening to a lot lately was Prison Sex by Tool.
Prison Sex.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I think we should stick with that one for now.
Only because I really want to learn that song and sing it through the fucking prison whenever I'm working.
I have found some kind of temporary sanity in this shit, blood, and cum on my hands.
Perfect segue. Kristi, I want to thank you so much for being on the show. You've been a fantastic guest. On that note,
I guess we're going to wrap it up right now, and then we'll play the song.
Absolutely. Kristi, Johnny, good night, goodbye.
Good luck.